right. So let me ask you this: what is the difference between? Because I've listened to some of your other appearances in other podcasts. What is the difference between? You make a very clear distinction between physical science and marketing science as the fitness goals and workout goals. Where is the distinction there, and what should be aware of?
Yeah, it's important to understand that in the world we live in today, the fitness industry is a for-profit, unregulated market. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but what it means is whatever sells sticks around, which isn't necessarily the same thing as saying whatever sells works, right?
Yeah,
And so
definitely.
when we understand this, when we start looking at the the science of exercise or the science of nutrition, we actually find things that we might wonder, like, why is nobody talking about this? Why is nobody doing this? Why is this not common knowledge? And the reality is the fitness industry is not necessarily interested in what works, it's interested in what sells. And those are not always the same thing, unfortunately. So I'll give you an example. We've known for a very long time that the supplement creatine monohydrate is extremely powerful for building muscle. Like, we've known that. It's actually the most well-studied supplement in the whole
I
world.
used to take it
So
when I was a teenager, which is not a good idea, I suppose. But
it's not the worst thing. In fact, the British Journal of Medicine showed us that 5 grams of creatine per day for 2 years, unless you have a contraindication like kidney failure or liver disease, that's totally safe. That there's no side effects associated in a negative vein with that. But creatine's very cheap to make. Like, it's not a very expensive supplement. It's actually relatively inexpensive to create creatine monohydrate. And so there are several offshoots, and this is going to get me into some trouble with some people. There's several offshoots of creatine supplementation that are different versions of creatine, and they've added all kinds of stuff to it to make it more effective and all this stuff, and it's just not. Like, when you actually look at the research, there's not a difference between taking creatine monohydrate for cognitive benefit, for musculoskeletal benefit. Actually helps with sleep deprivation, by the way. Pro tip, Dad. with my child number 2, creatine monohydrate was a really helpful part of getting through that without feeling subhuman on a regular basis. So creatine monohydrate is perfectly fine as a supplement. You don't need to add all the bells and whistles to it, but there's an entire market of extraneous creatine monohydrate supplements, and maybe they taste good, maybe they got caffeine in them and make people feel good, but as far as the actual benefit of creatine monohydrate, they're not getting any better benefits when you look at the actual research. And that's how so many things in the fitness world operate. Another example would be fasting. It's free to fast, right? You don't have to eat anything.
it's cheap. Yeah.
That's what fasting actually means. But there's an entire multi-million-dollar industry around fasting shakes. So if I fast, but I have this shake I'm taking, I mean, technically you're not even fasting at that point, but it's marketed as a resource for people who are interested in fasting. And so the fitness industry is not interested necessarily in what actually works. It's what sells that sticks around, and people should know that.